Welcome back and Happy New Year, everyone. You know, I didn't even think there was going to be enough content to even do today's episode, but man, was I wrong. Between the creators and all the 3D printing companies, they've been really hard at work over the holidays, and so I have a bunch of things to go over with you today, from major features in software platforms, hardware releases, and really cool 3D prints. And we're going to go through all of that today, right after this.
Welcome to the show that sets your mind free. Tech and gadgets, 3D surprise. Captain Creativity. Honesty, insight to Creality. With David's guiding light, invention spark and take their flight.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Captain Creativity. I am your host, David Merrill, and on today's 3D print report, we're going to get right into it with Prusa. So Prusa released their new slicer version 2.9, and man, does it come out with some cool features that we've all been waiting for. First is the multiple bed capability. We've seen this in Bamboo Slicer, we've seen this in Orca Slicer, and finally now it's in Prusa Slicer. You can use up to 9 beds, and that's a major addition to it. The other major thing that they did in there was scarf seams. This is where you end up with some imperfections where the print ends and then starts again. So they have this really cool thing to kind of hide those imperfections called scarf seams, and that's now in this version. There's some other integrations like printables and improvements all across the board, but there's also a new feature that allows you to paint on fuzzy skin. Yes. So fuzzy skin, whether it's for like animals or other types of objects, but also if you want to put like texture to like make your grip better on that part, fuzzy skin could be used for that as well. And you'll find it all in version 2.9, and all the links are going to be included in the description below. And Creality came out with a new version of their slicing software, version 6.0. And man, does it come with a ton of new features and capabilities. One of the best features, which I've been dying for, was the auto orientation capability. It's something that I alluded to in the K2 Plus combo review I did last week, and sure enough, the day that I published that video, 6.0 came out, and lo and behold, it's now available. And this will allow you to orient your object in the most optimal way on the bed. But something else that they did there that goes beyond Bamboo Studio and Orca Slicer is that they now allow you to optimize it either for print time or for filament usage. And I think that that's really, really cool. I do not recall having the ability to optimize for either of those two criteria on Bamboo Studio or Orca Slicer. So that's a really cool thing that they came out with. Another huge improvement was the slicing time. I definitely noticed some sluggishness on their previous version, and this new version comes with a much needed improvement, 2 to 3 times faster. They say anywhere from 10 to 70%. That's a big deal. The other thing that they did was improve their cloud syncing capability. Now the presets and the printers, they all sync up really well with your cloud profile. And then ultimately they also came out with this new feature called the Z-Seam Assemble Mode. And they're saying that this happens when users usually do like print in place types of models, and they encountered issues with the Z-seam adhesion and basically preventing smooth operation. So this new feature is supposed to fix that. So I've never encountered that, but I would be interested to hear if this now really fixes a lot of issues for people who are experiencing this. So let me know in the comments below. There are some other things, but they are in beta. There's an overhang optimization capability in there that automatically identifies these areas and then adjusts the layers, and it's all meant to improve the print quality, right? The other thing is a smart cooling zones. This is also in beta, and it kind of analyzes the geometry of the model and then disables cooling slowdowns for layers where it's not necessary, and this actually is meant to reduce the printing time. So Overall, it's a very good release, lots of key features in there. Can't wait to start using it, and I love to hear your experience with it in the comments below. And on to hardware. Let's start off with Anycubic, specifically the Kobra S1 combo. Last time we did a report, we didn't have all the details. It was just a sneak peek. Now we know everything about it. It's coming out in February. They have a founder's price, which might be over by the time you're gonna see this video, unfortunately, but it's $549, which is an insane price to get the CoreXY and the Ace Pro all together. But if you miss it, their suggested retail price is $749. I'm not sure if they're gonna have more deals after the founder price is over, but that is the suggested retail price. And it supports 4 to 8 colors, so it could support another Ace Pro, but that's the maximum 8 colors. The build size is 250 by 250 by 250, and the print speed is 600 millimeters per second, but the recommendation is 300 millimeters per second. Recommended acceleration is 10,000 millimeters per second, but the maximum acceleration is 20,000. And all of these I feel are relatively consistent with other CoreXY machines. And regarding noise, it ranges from 44 to 46 decibels. It has all the calibration capabilities that you would expect, but it also has monitoring for the belt tensioning system, so that's pretty cool. And then it has a little bit of what they call AI detection, which is basically spaghetti recognition, which tells you if your print failed and then kind of pauses the printing. So that's pretty cool. Overall, I think it's gonna be a good contender. I know it's another one to the market, but the truth is, I think that they're gonna do a pretty good job with it. And for those of you who are CNC fans as well, there's some exciting news from Makera. They came out with the Carvera Air in a Kickstarter about a year ago. This is a desktop CNC machine, and it's really meant to be more affordable, at least more affordable compared to other desktop CNC machines, but it's also meant to be really smart and versatile, and they're really looking to lower the bar of entry for people to get into CNC machines. Anyway, the Carvera Air has actually started shipping. The first 1,300 backers are soon to be getting them. I am one of those backers. I am looking forward to getting one, and I will certainly be doing an unboxing and setup review when I do. Pre-sale price right now is $2,099. The original price is $2,799, but right now you could still get it at, you're not gonna get it at the Kickstarter price, which was amazing, and it was somewhere in the $1,000 price point, but you can get it right now for the pre-sale price. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm going to see them again at CES 2025 next week. If you recall, I actually did a review on the Carvera Air about a year ago when we first started our channel, and soon I'm gonna be able to have it in person, hands-on, and so I'm very excited about that. And for a new product announcement from SUNLU is their new FilaDryer E2. This dryer kind of separates itself from other dryers that they have released in that it's targeting high performance materials. Now, you obviously could use this as a dryer with all materials, but what's really interesting about the E2 is that it actually does the job of annealing as well as the ability to do drying. So for example, when you're done drying your filament, you load it in, you print your object, and then when it's done, you can further strengthen that object by going through a process of annealing. So annealing has usually been done by taking your prints and putting it in the oven, and you kind of bake it a little bit. And when it gets heated up a little bit more, it further strengthens and hardens your piece. And this is really good for high performance parts. So anyway, the FilaDryer, it actually hits a level of temperature that other dryers don't. It hits about 110 degrees Celsius, where most dryers hit only about 80 degrees Celsius. And as for the price, I have no idea what it is. But what I do know is that if you go on to their website, you can reserve a spot for $1, and then when it comes out, you will get $70 off your order. So anyway, You could go and check it out online. I'm gonna put a link to the description below. All right, now let's move on to things that we can make or 3D print. Let's first look at Yosh Studios. They were very busy over the holidays, and their kickoff for January includes Knuckles Fists from Sonic the Hedgehog, a Winter Soldier mask, a Lady Death mask, an Echo Sword, and a life-size Jeff the Land Shark. They also came out with a really cool helmet, Transformers Optimus Primal helmet that comes with the ability to put in magnets in there so it's easy to take on and off. And of course, all these models come with breakouts so that you can print each piece in a different color, and so that when you put it all together, you don't really need to paint anything, which is fantastic. And then they came out also with these things called minis. So they have Beasts and Minis kickoff, some Pokemon stuff, but this really, really cool Batman that they launched. It looks really fun to make. You definitely don't have that kind of breakdown as you do in other parts. So it looks like the chest you would probably have to run with an acrylic marker or do a multicolor print on it. But they do a really good job of breaking up all the other pieces. I think some of you might look to do this on a resin printer, but if you're getting good prints on an FDM printer, go for it, see how it comes out. Anyway, that's all for Yosh Studios, and let's move on. Okay, and moving on to Galactic Armory, they came out with two really cool helmets. One of them is a Halo Infinite Thermalion helmet. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I do love Halo, but I'm not familiar with this particular helmet, but it looks really, really cool. And they also came out with a Samurai Darth Vader helmet, which is really awesome looking. And it comes with alternate face plates and lens options and alternate domes. They really do an amazing job when it comes to anything armor, cosplay, props. They hit it out of the park. So definitely check out Galactic Armory there. And for those of you who are in the market for a Prusa One, but you don't want to leave it on the floor and you would like something to elevate it above the ground, you might want to check out this really cool model that's free to download off of Printables by the Prusa guy, otherwise known as David Warboss. And they are Prusa One legs or feet to actually elevate the Prusa One and allow you to have room underneath for storage or just to leave it open for cleaning, etc. Anyway, it's a really cool model, a really cool accessory to add, and definitely check it out. I'm gonna put a link in the description below. All right, and now moving on to Clockspring3D. For those of you who are not familiar, these guys really push the boundaries of what is possible with 3D printers, and they come up with some of the best and most fun 3D models out there. A lot of very cool print in place kind of solutions and prints with really neat mechanical properties. Well, this past week they came out with a couple of really neat versions. One of them is this like skull box that you can interconnect and form all kinds of different types of patterns. So each box is almost like a tile, if you would, and they can actually connect together through magnets. They also came out with this really neat door stopper that allows you to hide objects in them. And then last but not least, they also came out with a pedal pop lid box where you press down on the pedal and the lid pops right up. And that is a print in place and comes right off the printer functioning. So definitely check them out. They have a Patreon, which I'm gonna put a link to in the description below. And last but not least, we have the Kit Kiln, and they come out with these really fun models called Chunkies, which are based on iconic pop culture characters like Venom or Deadpool and Ghostbusters and many others. Anyway, they came out with a new Chunky this week, and that is none other than Spider-Man, and I cannot wait to print it. On a side note, I just want to let you know that for the last week, I've been 3D printing and assembling these with my kids. And man, has it been fun. They're so addictive to make and assemble. It's crazy, and you really want to get them all. But I will tell you, for kids, especially 9 and under, they could have a little bit of difficulty just snapping the pieces in. The instructions are really simple to follow. And if you go on their Instagram page or even on their Things subscription page, each model shows you those videos and you can follow them along, and they're really easy to assemble. They really are, and it's so satisfying when everything just snaps together. And then when it comes to printing, each plate has its own color, so it's really easy to get everything to come out. Like for example, you have a plate for white and you have a plate for red and blue and so on. So anyway, I'm really excited to print that Spider-Man, and I just wanted to share my experience with these particular models. They're really a lot of fun. Again, look out for them. I'm going to include the link in the description below, and you could definitely find them on Things, but definitely great project for adults and kids alike. And that's all I have for today. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to actually be at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, next week. So I can't wait to come back with all the latest and greatest from that show. And happy printing.